Assalamualaikum and greeting everyone. My name is Muhammad SHAHMIZANBIN Muhammad Nordin. My student ID is 2025107113 and I'm from CSC508. So today I would like to present on my data structure CSC508 assignment 2, which is queue and stack, and my system is MUHAMAD inventory system. So let's get started. Okay, so basically here is the classes that involved in my assignment 2, which are linked list, queue, empty list exception, node, stack, phone, MUHAMAD main, and also data text file. So here is the class queue. Queue is an extend class from the linked list. So in class queue we have enqueue, which to insert an object inside the queue. Dequeue is to remove object from the queue, and then we have get front, get end, and is empty. Stack is also an extend class from the linked list. So in stack we have push, is to push data inside stack, and pop is where we retrieve or remove data from the stack, and we have pick, is empty, and print method. So I import three library files, which are Java IO.star, Java util.star, Java, and Java text.star.
And in the main class, I declare three library files, and here where I declare all of the classes in static because I want to make it accessible for all of the static method to use the scanner, decimal format, queue, and stack classes. So here is the first method in my system, which first I read the file using file reader, and it will read the data from data.txt file, and the data will be stored inside the phone queue, new queue for the new phone, use queue for the used phone, and then it will execute the print logo and go to the main menu. This is my main menu method, which first it will clear the screen on the terminal, and it will print the menu list and require user to insert their option, and then it will navigate to the specific method based on user's input. And for the case number 9 is to exit the system. Next is display data method. In this method, I display all of the data from the phone queue, new queue, and used queue, and I make it inside the table for better visualization. Inside this method, I also implement queue to queue, which all of the data from these three queue will be stored temporarily inside the temp queue so that the data will not be lost. And next is the Rahmah phone method. So here where I implement moving data from queue to a stack. So first, it indicates user to enter the maximum price of a Rahmah phone, and then how it works. So basically, we collect data from the phone queue, and if the price of the phone is lower than the maximum price, then we push it inside the Rahmah stack, and then the system will display all of the Rahmah phone lists to be viewed by the user. And then we move to the next method, which is Rahmah recommend. So here where I implement moving data from stack to another stack. So first thing first, it indicates user to insert the minimum release year of the phone, and then we will find the data from the Rahmah stack, and if the target was founded, then we push the data inside the Rahmah recommend stack, and as usual, the system will display back all of the list of Rahmah recommended phone. We're moving on to the next method, which is Rahmah find. So the function of this method is to find your Rahmah phone by entering the brand, and here where I implement moving data from a stack to a queue. So how does this method work? So basically, we need to find the data from the Rahmah stack, and if the phone is equal to the brand that we entered, it will be enqueue inside the Rama find queue, and the system will display all of the phone list from the Rama find queue.
For number 5 is the calculate totals, average, maximum and minimum prices of the phone. So here is the calculation and the logic. And then it will display the total sales, average price, maximum price and minimum price of phone in the store. And then here is the PREC method, which can be considered as precedence, which a helper method to check the priority of the precedence of the postfix. And then infix to postfix method, which is the main method of the converter. So first, it requires user to enter an infix expression, and then the string of infix expression will be converted into char, and the converter will check each of the character by its own priority. And for the case A is check whether the character is a letter or a number, and then it will be stored inside the result string because there's no change of the letter or a number. And for the case B is to check whether it is an open bracket. If it is an open bracket, then it will be pushed inside the stack. It is because it acts as a barrier or a start marker for a new group. And for the case C is to check whether it is a closed bracket, and if the requirement meet, it will keep popping operator from the stack and adding them to the result until we hit the open bracket. And for the case D is to check whether it is an operator, and here where I call the PREC method to check the priority of the precedence based on the rule of precedence. And then it will pop all of the character inside the stack and will be stored inside the result. And for the last one is the output of the result. Here, user can insert the new phone data, and first I require user to insert how many data they want to key in and enter the phone detail, which are ID, brand, model, storage, price, color, release year, and enter the condition, either it is a new phone or a used phone. And all of the data will be enqueued inside the phone queue. And I compare, if the phone is a new phone, the data will also be copied inside the new queue. Otherwise, it will store inside the used queue. And for the last one is delete data. So here user can delete the phone data, and they need to enter the phone ID. So the data will be retrieved from the phone queue. And if the data is found, then we also find the data from the new or used queue, which means all of the data of the phone will be deleted, and I also syncing it with the text file so that all of the data is consistent. And here is the additional method that I use inside the system, which is get.
So for Getch, it requires user to press enter to execute the next process, and for Get Center is the same as the Getch, but the text is in the middle of the terminal.
And then I have clear screen, which will clear all of the display at the terminal. And here is the print logo, which will be pop up at the beginning of the system. And here is the syncing file method.
So this is data.txt act as a database of the system.
So here is the splash screen of my inventory system and require user to press enter to continue, and the menu will be displayed. So first I go to the display all data. So here we can see all of the phone data, new phone and used phone will be displayed. And then we go to the number 2, which is Rahmah phone, which I implement queue to stack. So we need to enter the maximum price of the phone, example 2000. All of the Rahmah phone list, which is the price below 2000, will be displayed. And we go to the number 3, which I implement stack to stack, and here we can find the Rahmah recommended phone. We need to enter the minimum year of the phone, let's say 2023. The system will display all of the recommended phone data. And for the number 4 is find Rahmah phone by its brand. So here where I implement the stack queue. So we need to enter the brand of the Rahmah phone. For example, we enter Apple, and all of the phone that is brand Apple will be displayed. So the system will find the Rahmah phone from the Rahmah stack and put it inside the find queue, and the data from the find queue will be displayed. And number 5 is where we can calculate totals, average, maximum and the minimum price. So here is the total sales, average price, maximum price and the minimum price of the phone inside the store. And we go to the number 7, which insert new data. So the system will ask how many data you want to key in. For example, I want to key in 1 data, and you need to enter the ID. Enter the ID 1, 4. Enter the brand. Enter the price. So to check whether the data is insert or not, you go to the display all data, and here it is. And I think I wrongly keyed in the storage of the phone, so I want to delete it. So go to the number 8 and enter the ID. So the system will display that the phone is successfully deleted from the queue and also from the text file. So to check it back, we go to the display all data, and there is no icon X here. And for the last one is integer to phosphate converter, which first it requires user to insert the integer expression, and it will convert it to the phosphate expression. And 9 is to exit the system. So that's all from me. Thank you.